I do find it kind of interesting that often in stories that Jesus would tell, the hero of the story would be a Samaritan. We remember the story of what we refer to as the Good Samaritan. He's the one that went down in the ditch and ministered to the man who'd been beaten and robbed, and took him to the inn, and even offered to pay for future care for this man. He was a Samaritan. The leper that came back to worship Jesus was a Samaritan. And the reason why that fascinates me, because it seems to me like it's just kind of just a one more time that he's just saying to those, quote, spiritual people who lived during the days of Jesus, these Pharisees and these Sadducees and the priests and the scribes who put on these airs of great spirituality, but the depth of who they were as far as spiritual, just not there. And so concerned with all of the trimmings and the trappings and things that would give the appearance of a person who is related, and I'm talking about related in the spiritual terms with God, but yet just not there. And so here Jesus demonstrates to us, of those 10 lepers, here was one man who understood that it wasn't just a matter of, hey, I got healed and now I can go on and live my normal life. This is a spiritual thing. And it's so important that we understand that there is a spiritual world. There's spiritual activity going on all around us. Most of the time, we are oblivious to it. And I'm talking about Christians going about our lives, doing what we do, without any concept that there are things happening in the heavenlies and in the spiritual realm that are so powerful. And to recognize the hand of God all around us, and to acknowledge that, and to proclaim that, and to worship Him who is responsible for that. See, that's a very important part of our Christian training and our Christian understanding, to understand that we live in a spiritual world. And I know there's things all around us that concern us. And I don't care what time in history it is. It could be today, it could be 20 years from now, it could have been 20 years from now. The Word of God says there's always trouble. There's trouble brewing all around us. And we're aware of that. But so often, we're just not aware that there's also spiritual activity taking place in the midst of all the confusion. And that we, as people who believe in God, that we have the ability to flow with that and to see the hand of God work as we worship Him and we enter into the spiritual realm with Him and our personal relationship with Him that the Word of God says that we can have. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.